they may call you Kid Dynamite. You mess with me, I'll put your fuse out.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
Hey, all Sunny and Blood, punk. Where you at?
The bout was anticipated to adhere to the Marquess of Queensberry rules. Mike Tyson had secured victory 4 times in his last 7 bouts and was coming off a knockout loss to Lennox Lewis. However, he rebounded strongly in his next fight with a decisive knockout of Clifford Etienne. The Beast was in peak form, garnering attention across Japan with his flashy victories. The clash promised brute force against technique, a David versus Goliath. 2 formidable fighters were set to collide under the established rules of boxing, while Tyson, having grown up in the tough streets of New York, likely have been in dogfights, it seemed clear to many that he was no match for the former NFL player, Bob Sapp, in MMA fight. Unfortunately, this intriguing matchup never materialized due to complications in the negotiation process, leaving fans to only ponder over it. This is Ruthless Fight, and today we dive into the biggest what-if in the history of boxing. We will collide 2 power machines when both of them were in their respectful athletic prime. For Mike, it is late 80s, and for his adversary Bob Sapp, we will take early 2000s. It is rare to see a fighter with negative record to be as famous as Bob Sapp. While his size may have contributed to his fame, he first had to earn the fans' attention, as he did in his fight against kickboxing legend Ernesto Mr. Perfect Hoost. Ernesto Hoost entered this bout with 13-win streak consisting of victories over monsters such as Mirko Krokop, Mark Hunt, Stefan Leko, and Jane Norgee. In this fight, it was another big name and big check for Mr. Perfect. On the cards, it was an easy work for Hoost, but we could only imagine his thoughts late at night a day before this fight. Sapp saw red and started aggressively, just pounding the legend like he was a guy dating his daughter. The Beast let him go, and Hoost began working in his average man, outstriking the opponent. After one of those leg kicks showed to be a great weapon against Sapp, Ernesto just spammed him with that E-tape. Sapp didn't like that and just simply pinned the legend to the corner. He unloaded wicked shots that pierced through the guard and made him realize what kind of power is hidden in those punches. Luckily, the bell has saved him. The second round started, and the barrage of punches again dropped on Hoost. Legend's corner was ready to end this fight by throwing a towel. Sapp saw that his opponent was ready to quit. He first broke him mentally, and for the third and final time just mauled the legend in the corner of that ring. Mallet did its job, and many lost their guaranteed money. After winning the fight, now Bob violated the champion, which spiked more attention into this fight as many expected salty revenge from the champie. In their second matchup, Ernesto came with polished game plan, which consisted of low kicks and punches to the body, as he realized that his head was simply unshakable. He even managed to knock down a giant to the body.
信じられないことが起こる。あの野心がマットに崩れました。
Two flails went towards him, and the final one just threw him back a meter away. Sap swinged with his hooks, but the Dutch shell was too solid for his bats. Sap accidentally showed everyone that his chin was simply made out of raw steel. The Dutch could defend against bats, but not against torpedoes piercing through the man like knife pierces through the butter. In this MMA fight, the Beast had to face a guy with a crazy ground game. Tim Min-soo was Olympic judo medalist who is master of arm bars. But when the weight of yours is 375 pounds, you don't care about no technique of your opponent. Sap tried to do the same move he pulled on Hoost, but Judoka just tied him up. He even attempted to hurt Sap to the head, which we know was an inexperienced move from Korean. The punches had made a cut on the face of Sap, and Doctor went to look at it. The Korean was happy about his strikes and rushed in to continue his massacre, but Sap welcomed the Korean with the most heartwarming overhand and an uppercut that reminded Perky Judoka of his actual martial art. Mike Tyson had a similar knockout to what Bob did to the Korean. With a record of 7 wins and 7 knockouts, Mike met a guy by the name of Michael Johnson. But as everybody knows, there can only be one king. So Tyson decided to punish Michael Johnson for being co-owner of the name. Dynamite Kid immediately started working on his opponent, as if it was a punching bag. The most beautiful sequence from Mike and Johnson folded in pain like a book.
Right to the... Glad you pointed it out because down he goes.
Johnson got back up and Tyson reminded him for the last time why he should definitely change his name.
23-pound weight advantage, and he put it on. 3-pound weight advantage, and he put it on.
The malicious right overhand was just too violent for Johnson. Doctors immediately stepped in to check on his well-being.
For an invitation. Whoa.
The fight which showed that Sap wasn't just overpowering his opponent with his brute force. The sumo wrestlers are considered to be the heaviest and the strongest among all wrestlers, but Kabono was no regular among them. Also, on top of being the tallest sumo wrestler, towering over others at a significant 6 foot and 8 inches, he reached the status of Yokozuna, which in sumo culture means the best in the entire sport. In this battle now, Sap was getting manhandled into the ropes. But the ref was quick to break it. Sap quickly realized his advantages and began showing the beauty of this sport. After firing his notorious torpedo, Bob caught a cakebano. With a move from sumo, the Beast felt that the focus of this sea elephant was loose, so he rushed to finish him off. a torpedo from WW2 brutally forced Akabano to kiss the canvas and rest. This was the time when Sap was probably blooming the most. The time when the Earth stopped circling and the attention of the whole world got focused on Tyson. Mike Tyson, after becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in the history of boxing, chose his next destination. He went on a crusade to free other belts that were held captive by those who deserved them less. His final destination to take the belt was Convention Hall, where he faced the last one stopping him from owning all three major belts, the undefeated Michael Spinks. Tyson ferociously marches forward. Spinks really needed to survive the storm in the first round to at least be able to work his jabs against the young and hungry Dynamite Kid. Spinks tried to work a bit, but got badly punished for it.
Tyson not afraid. Mix it up with him. Tyson.
Killer mindset of his was close to breaking the cervical vertebra of Spinks.
The rope's doing damage. Keep moving. Uppercut landed inside.
Spinks got his mindset right and was ready to now fight back. However, it was a battle of antelope against a locomotive, so Michael Spinks didn't make it alive from this one.
That is the first time Michael Spinks has ever been down in a professional fight.
And he's down again. This is after Spinks tried to fight back and had nothing.
He'll have another angle. Beautiful right uppercut. Caught him perfectly.
Mike Tyson reached the pinnacle of his career, at that moment becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion. Considering Tyson's anthropometry, he had the ideal physique for a fight without excess muscle or fat. There were times when boxers tried to overpower Tyson with the muscles. The prime example of that is Frank Bruno, whose nickname was literally a bodybuilder.
Is there any question? Shake hands, good luck. He has the same disadvantage as a lion going against the zebra.
The match started, and immediately Tyson reminded his opponent why they call him a Dynamite Kid.
Bruno's already tagged with the right hand, and there goes Bruno. Already tagged with the right hand, and there goes Bruno.
Bruno the Glass Jaw held on to Mike and threw shots that were considered illegal in boxing.
Bruno ties him up inside.
Coming from the place called Fear, he was trying so hard not let Tyson work.
Taken away. I don't think points will mean anything by the time this fight's over. Frank cuts very slowly across the ring. He knows he's in with a ball. Tyson gets down. Now Frank cuts very slowly across the ring. He knows he's in with a ball. Tyson gets down.
This plan might have ended successfully wasn't his muscles consuming twice the oxygen. When the hands of Bruno got too heavy to defend himself, Tyson unleashed his inner beast, and high volume of vicious punches left no other choice for referee other than stopping this contest.
Oh, he's ready to go. He hits him with a right hand. He's still in big trouble. The uppercut catches him. The right hand catches him. Cannot be seen by the throw. Hand lands. He knows he's got him in big trouble. If he doesn't answer it, Richard Steele has moved in and has...
After having 2 consecutive victories against the legendary Ernesto Hoost, the promoters decided to not lower the stake. His next opponent was against a literal killer from Croatia, Mirko Filipovic Krokop. Seeing the guy that he got beaten by look helpless against this man, Mirko decided to concentrate on not getting squeezed in the ropes. Sapp was confident in his skills and just run at Crow Cop with little to no guard. And in one of the most misunderstood situations, Bob Sapp decided to stop fighting. Many interpreted this as Sapp taking a dive in this fight. However, after the fight, Sapp informed that his facial bones got fractured, and he just simply couldn't continue like that. Out of Mike's opponents, whose height is known, 47 of them, 46 were taller than Mike. The tallest fighter Tyson has fought was Eddie Richardson. The giant was blessed by God to tower over others at a significant 6 foot and 6 inches. Mike proved that for him. The height of his opponent was just a number on the list. The young and quick Mike was just on another level. Slip right, slip left, and Eddie is already knocked down.
That's the Amago, of course. Right hand. That's the Amago. Of course. Right hand. First punch he threw.
On top of being a short fighter, Tyson decided to lower his head, making it even harder for Richardson to hit it. With no fear whatsoever, Tyson was just blitzing with power bombs. One of the most brutal finishes in the history of the sport occurred when Mike used nuclear bomb to send Eddie Richardson flying in the ring. Bob Sapp versus Chemo, the holder of black belt in Taekwondo. The fight later was noted as the best-worst fight in MMA. The fight starts and Chemo immediately throws a kick to the stomach. The respectful battle turned into a dogfight from the get-go. Sapp began hammering the head of Chemo, while considering that Sapp's kicks were identical to Chemo's. Either Sapp was a secret black belt or Chemo was just a charlatan. Chemo definitely felt the hard knee on his face. Two traded punches, and the light hook from Chemo just dazed Sapp. He immediately used his reserves to finish off the beast. However, the rock-hard head of Bob was just too solid to hurt. While trying to finish him off, Chemo jumped right at the torpedo of Sapp and went down. Crusader gets back up and again. After a little trade-off, big legs of Sapp begin to not listen. Crusader goes in to finish and gets the beast on the ground. The doctor takes a timeout to check on Sapp, and that just angers Chemo. The second round begins with deafening punches from Bob and a knockdown. The fighters were going toe-to-toe with those knockdowns. Bob Sapp chases down his prey and connects with a bat that just crushes the body dead on the ground. The rest was history.
They may call you Kid Dynamite. You mess with me, I'll put your fuse out.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract.
Hey, our son in blood, punk. Where you at?
After watching key fights, we determined that Tyson's technique in tandem with his punching power would get it done against a brute force that Bob Sapp has to offer. The fight could end in any round of the fight.